Hi guys, I'm Acreletae and I have been missing for the last 2 years. Um, and I guess I wanted to firstly apologise for the lack of videos and the lack of attention and everything else, but also I felt like I owed you guys an explanation because it seems every time I make a video, I promise, yeah, I'm back, I'm gonna do new videos, it's gonna be awesome, I'm totally gonna be around, and then I'm not, and I don't, and there's always something that happens. I'll get sick. I'm super prone to sinus infection, so my voice goes with it, or I don't know. I just get really busy with school or work or everything. Like it just every time I'm like, oh, I finally have time to do a video, something else happens, and unfortunately, that's actually what happened for the last like 2 years. Because my last video was uploaded in like June 2013, which is crazy, crazy. Um, so I wanted to give you guys a bit of a rundown of what's happened over the last 2 years because they've been possibly the most eventful 2 years of my life. And also, I wanted to kind of let you guys know what will be happening, or at least what my plans for my future and stuff are going to be, and where YouTube is going to fit into all that kind of stuff. So the list is long, and because it's been 2 years, it's not going to be in chronological order. In fact, it's not really going to be in any particular order at all. I just wrote down every major event that I could remember, and there's probably stuff I'm forgetting. And those of you that actually know me, and if I've forgotten something, I'm sorry, but apparently it just wasn't as important to me. So the first thing that happened, I have repeated 4 or 5 exams. I've never been a great college student. I've only had like 1 year that I hadn't had to repeat everything, which was really like crap. But you know, what can you do? So 4 or 5 exams. That was really intense. Even this year, I had to carry a module instead of repeating the exam, which is really nice in a way. But I did have to repeat quite a bit, and that was crap. I have taught in 3 different schools. Each time I was there, it was 2 schools I taught for 4 weeks, and 1 school I taught for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And it was all really, really super awesome. I had such a blast. My students were all really fun. There's a few that will always stay with me. Like some of my prized possessions actually came out of the last school that I was in. I'm not going to say which school it was or anything like that because basically I don't have anyone's permission to be talking about them online. But some of them, like I have them like even right here. I'm in my college accommodation at the minute, so I keep these on my desk. So like that's me in my Slytherin uniform and everything. That's from one of the girls, and she also gave me, because I'd mentioned that one of my favourite Pokemon out of the new generations is Lillipup, so she even gave me a Lillipup like Pokemon card. I have letters. One of the girls wrote out the Jabberwocky for me from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and like another portrait of me from a different student. And I have like a little mantelpiece like over like there. You can see like my tiny horses, and I have like a framed digital painting of me as well from one of the other girls. It was an all-girls school, and it was just really super, super great, and it was one of the best experiences and really reassured me that I do want to be a teacher. And if I can get back there next year, because these girls were in their second to last year in school, if I could get to them to teach them again this coming year, I would be over the moon to see them again. It would be so good because I had them every day. I had them for English, and it was a blast. I love those girls. It was so much fun. Easily the best class I've ever had to teach. Like, no offense to any other student I've ever had. I've never had a class that I've not liked. So it's just these girls were my favourites, even though I technically shouldn't have taken favourites. But anyway, onwards. Earlier this year, I finished it up in November. I wrote my research paper. So it's not quite long enough to be a thesis. So it's a research paper. And I wrote it on Aristotelian virtue ethics in Harry Potter, which was so hard. It was so, because like, oh my gosh, Harry Potter is not really the most academic of texts. Like I found some stuff, but it was mostly me sitting in this room and just reading so many things about Aristotle. It was crazy. But but it was a lot of fun to do. If anybody's going in to do a thesis or research paper, pick something that you don't know everything about, so that you'll be learning stuff, so it'll stay interesting, but also pick something that you won't completely resent having to stay inside and have no life to write. And also don't pick something you love, because you will grow to hate it. So I picked Harry Potter because I love it, but I picked virtue ethics because I knew nothing about it. So anytime I got kind of overwhelmed talking about Harry Potter, I'd go back and do Aristotle, because it was new, it was interesting, it was exciting. I knew almost nothing about virtue ethics, even though I'd studied a bit of philosophy in college, and it was just really interesting. It was a good experience. It took forever, but I'm kind of glad that I got to do it. And also, it's kind of fun to tell students that I have in secondary school that, oh yeah, I did my research paper on Harry Potter, and they just go, you can do that? Like, oh my god, college might actually be a fun thing rather than, more work, because I'm a firm believer in education. Okay, so what else? I have traveled to New York. We were staying outside Rockland. We were in White Plains, that was it, White Plains. We were staying there, and it's beautiful. It was so nice, and I'd never heard like all the insects at night, like all the crickets and stuff, and the other thing, I can't remember the name of the other bug, the one that makes lots of noise. It was in the summer, it was in August, yeah, not this August gone, but the August before, and it was so loud at night time. We weren't expecting it, because in Ireland we don't, like, we might have a bit of grasshoppers and stuff, but we don't have that kind of, I'm used to traffic noise, I'm not used to like insects. It was really weird. And yeah, we were there for my brother's wedding, which was so much fun, because he married a girl from New York, and they're living over there now, which is really nice, and everything. But we met like all my brother's in-laws and everything else, and one of them brought me and my brother up, like, because the house that we were renting had like a huge back garden. It was an amazing house, it really was, and like it had a pool and everything. We were like, oh my gosh, because like it's just not like that around here, because it's, no, the weather isn't good enough to have a pool outside. It's just not. So yeah, so he brought us up, and we went like catching lightning bugs, and that was insane. It was so much fun, and it was so pretty, and I was like, oh my gosh. But then a lightning bug went in the house, and I was like, oh my god, gross, a bug. And I took my flip-flop and I smashed it, and it was like all the glow stuff like smeared everywhere, like it smeared like an actual glow stick, and I was like, that's really it was a magical experience in some ways, smashing that bug. I don't know, it didn't occur to me that it was just a chemical reaction within the actual insect itself. It was quite interesting. While we were there as well, I saw my one and only baseball game. It was like a minor league thing. It was the Rockland Boulders versus someone from New Jersey. There was a team from New Jersey. I think Jets was part of their name or something. I don't know if I'm mixing that up with something. Anyway, it was the Rockland Boulders, and that was super fun. And it was actually like the most entertaining sports thing I'd ever gone to ever in my life. It was so much fun. And they even had like Cracker Jack. I got to find out what Cracker Jack was and everything. Oh, it was awesome. It was a really good day. And I highly recommend, if anybody goes visiting America, if you're not actually from America, I know the majority of people who watch me are from America, but if you're not from America, if you go to America, go to a baseball game. It is such fun. Like, we didn't know what was going on, but we had a guy who was like really into baseball sitting in front of us, and he like, we were sitting there going like, why is he walking, why is this happening, what does it mean when it goes over there, and all this stuff. Like, we just didn't know, because we were just going for the laugh, really. And he was turning around and like explaining all the rules, and we were like, oh, thank you baseball guru. Everything. It was a good bit of fun. I was actually wearing this shirt that day. Anyway, so as well, I have travelled to Edinburgh, and we did all like the kind of haunted tours and the ghost tours and everything else. We were supposed to do the Harry Potter things, but unfortunately before we went, my grandmother passed away, and myself and my granny were like that. We were so close, and it was honestly devastating. that happened, and that's the main thing that's kind of thrown me through a hoop as regards getting things done. I'm still not okay about it, if I'm honest, but I'm getting there. But the day after the funeral was the day that we flew off, because it was myself and my then boyfriend and a couple that we're friends with. We were supposed to go the day of the funeral, but obviously with the funeral on I couldn't go, and my ex was really good and he stayed with me, and he even paid to replace the flight tickets with flight the next day. So like that was really good of him, and we went, and unfortunately the day that we were at the funeral was the day that all the Harry Potter things happened. So we went along and we did all like the ghost stuff. But honestly, Edinburgh is my favourite city in the world right now. It's my favourite place. I can't wait to get back. I really need to get a job in order to pay for flights to get over there, because it was amazing. Those of you that are from Edinburgh, you're really lucky that you come from such a cool place. It was really awesome. Actually, I tried my first mead there and it is delicious. I highly recommend everyone tries it. Then after that I went to a place in France called Thésée, and Thésée is a monastic community, but it's ecumenical, so it's every type of Christianity are there. Now, like, I'm not particularly religious at all. In fact, I've rather lost my faith over the last few years. It's very difficult for me and everything else, but I went to Thésée because it was part of a college course, and I went along. And I wasn't expecting too much, but we were basically getting a grade to go on holidays, which was super cool. And also, I've never, like, the last time I was in France, I was 7 years old, and when we came back I went straight into hospital because I was so sick. They thought I actually had like cystic fibrosis and stuff, but it turns out just diabetic, so that's fine. But anyway, I'm digressing really badly now. But Thésée, if you're at all spiritual, like, you don't really have to be Christian to go, but you will be, singing Christian songs and stuff, but you were doing chants and stuff like that. It's really refreshing, it's really nice, it's very peaceful, everybody's really friendly. It's a really, really nice place, and if you're at all spiritual, doesn't matter where you come from or what denomination you might be, you're welcome, and it's just such a nice place, and it's really wonderful, and I highly recommend you go there. I just realised that I've been talking for a really long time, so I'm going to try and have this over very quickly. So I have also been twice elected chairperson of my college writers' society, of which I'm a founding member. So that was super cool, but that took up a bit of my time-ish because you can't really bail on society stuff. But it was mostly just like super fun, but it was like a really big thing for me to be able to do that, and it was super nice, and now I'm really sad to be seeing it go. Yeah, so last summer my sister got married, which was super fun. I was maid of honour, and it was just really fun and really easygoing, and I had a lot of good memories from that, and it was really nice. This January just gone, I became an aunt. My brother and his wife had a baby girl, and it's super cute, and I can't wait to meet her, and hopefully they'll be coming for Christmas, and it's gonna be awesome, and I'm really excited about that. Because she's the cutest baby. I don't care what your baby looks like, my niece is the cutest baby. But yeah, that's like the really happy news. And then to kind of bring the tone again, in the last 2 years I have ended 3 relationships. So the ex that brought me to Edinburgh was one, a guy I met at Thésée was another, and the third was easily one of the most, if not the most, damaging and destructive relationships I've ever been in, and it was horrible, and I wouldn't wish anything like that on anybody, and it was just really, really, really hard, because like it was really damaging to me psychologically, and so like I had to end it for my mental health. I was actually getting into a really, really, really dangerous place, and everything else, and it just went to hell. And it really sucks because I'd actually really liked that person for like a really long time, and then it happened, and it was the exact opposite of what I wanted it to be, and that was really, really heartbreaking. But now, thankfully, I'm in a really nice relationship with someone that like is my best friend, and it's really nice, and hopefully he'll consent to be in videos and stuff, and we can have a chat because he's one of my players, you know, because D&D is a good place to meet good buddies and everything else. So hopefully he'll consent to come in and talk about his experience with D&D, which has only been since I've introduced him to it, but he's been playing for a couple of years now with me, and as well under one of our other plays he runs a game, and he's played with a couple of other people for like one shot kind of stuff, and we've also played a tabletop Pokemon game, which was super cool and it was really, really fun. And that's kind of everything major that's happened. Right now I am 2 exams into a total of 10 exams into my finals, so this is me actually just procrastinating a lot in order to do this, but my exams are finishing up on the 26th, and the 26th I have to do, like, the college does a mass and it does like a dinner for the final year students, so I'll be doing that. Then after that I'm going to be playing tabletop Pokemon roleplay thing, which is just like it's like an extreme homebrew thing. It's super fun. We're going to be doing that for a few days, and then after that I'm not really sure what the plan is. I know that I have to repeat my teaching placement because I failed it and that was crap, but I won't get into that too much, but I will be repeating that at the end of August, the start of September, and that should all be over by like the 18th of September, I think, is the last day. So yeah, that'll be funish, and that's kind of the main plan at the minute. Another plan: get a job so I can pay for 5th edition books, because I really want to get into 5th edition. I have the DM screen because for me I find that that's the most helpful bit of kit that I've gotten, just because it just means that I don't have to hold stuff in my head, and hopefully I'll be getting into 5e, and I'm looking forward to trying that out because I did play test it a little bit, but I want to see what it's like now. And beyond that, I want to get a job, I want to go horse riding, I want to play 5th edition, and it just means that because I won't be doing assignments and stuff like that, and chances are straight out of college I'm not going to get a permanent teaching job. I'll probably be doing like working in a shop and then maybe doing the odd like supervision or like substitute teacher stuff, so I will have a lot more time for D&D, and provided I don't get sick and people don't die and I don't have to go places for people to get married and X, Y and Z, I'll have more time to do YouTube videos. And I might also be doing a second channel, provided once the Acreletae channel gets kind of even Stevens, once the Dungeon Master ones start going better and more regular, whatever else, I might be starting up a different channel for crafting projects and things like that, because I'm really into making stuff. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully I'll be posting up a new video I've got 2 weeks of exams left and then half a week of things, so maybe 3 weeks I'll start filming the next one, and we'll see how we go from there. So until then, I will see you all next time.